It's Cook with Jake and Joy. I'm Joy.
I'm Jake.
And this is our cooking show. It's all vegan, gluten-free. We're in our 8th season, and we're bringing you food that even if you're not vegan or gluten-free, you might want to start to adopt some of these recipes into your diet, maybe once a week, maybe once a day, and just see if you can get your family to eat a more plant-based diet. Because the more plants you get into your diet, the better you're going to feel, the better you're going to look, and the better your health is going to be. So, let's get started.
Here we go.
Quick ingredient list for this recipe. You're going to need some oats. You're going to need dates, at least 12. You're going to need some unsweetened coconut. You're going to need peanut butter, almond butter, or cashew butter. I like to use organic cacao nibs, and you're going to need some kind of a cocoa powder. You can use the one that we use, or you can use just straight cacao. All right, so we're going to make today a recipe that we call complete balls.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with sweaty balls.
Wow. Already 43 seconds into the episode. Holy moly.
So we have done a version of this in almost every single season, haven't we, Derek?
I think so.
I think we have, and you like the lemon ones the best.
Especially with coconut.
Yes, so if you want to go back and see our old recipes, just check out our YouTube channel. You can see everything there. Check out our Jake and Joy page. You can see things there as well on Facebook. But today, we're going to make my husband's favorite, and this one, this is the very first complete ball I ever made. And I made it just kind of off the cuff, so I've never written down the recipe, but I kind of have an idea of what we do. So what you're going to need for it is you're going to need some oats. You're going to need some cacao of some kind. We use a powder that we really like that has got more nutrients in it. So you're going to need something that has a chocolatey base, and cacao can work, or you can use what we use. I also started to put cacao nibs in it because it gave it a little bit better texture. You're going to need some kind of a nut butter, and we're going to use, where's my peanut butter? What happened to my peanut butter? Oh, jeez. You're gonna need some peanut butter or some almond butter or some cashew butter, whatever butter you like. I like peanut butter, so that's what I'm using. And then you're gonna also need a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of cinnamon, if you like this. This is how I'm making this recipe. And then, if it doesn't get to be the consistency that you want to have a little bit of chocolate almond milk or chocolate coconut milk, something to liquefy it a little bit. And then the magic ingredient, Derek, is dates.
Pitted dates or with pits?
Well, if you can get them without the pits in them, that's the best.
Did you talk about the muesli?
Well, we're going to get to the muesli. We're going to use muesli today. So you use oats, which is fine. But if you want to get more power to your complete balls, you can use the muesli mix that we make. You want to talk about the muesli?
We did it last season? 2 seasons?
We did it, yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah,
but
it's packed with so many good ingredients that you probably never even eat, right?
No.
Soy lecithin. We don't do wheat germ because we're a gluten-free show, but that's something you could add.
Milk
if you want.
thistle.
Milk thistle. It usually has pumpkin seeds,
seeds,
sunflower seeds, sliced almonds, oats, chia seeds, currants. It's just full. It's just full of so many good things. And I start my day every day with some of this muesli every morning, so I know I get this wide array of nutrients.
As an athlete, it's really important. This recipe was developed at John Bestier.
Yeah.
And so you can go back and look at the recipe on our YouTube channel. I posted it actually in the month of January a while back, just because I wanted to have somebody have their, a way to kickstart their year and really be healthy.
And it also, if you're a breastfeeding mom, it also helps with your milk supply as well.
Absolutely. And you can put so many different things in it. It's just amazing. And then after you want to soak it. A lot of people think that you have to cook oats before you eat them, but you really don't. You just have to soak them for at least a half an hour so that they break down so you can digest them. And what's great is that, I was going to say something. I forgot what I was going to say.
So you want to soak it for at least 30 minutes up to 24 hours is what I typically do.
And then top them with some kind of a plant-based yogurt and some berries, and then I put our powder into it as well. So I'm just getting max amount of nutrition. Oats are really good for reducing depression. They actually help your body to produce more serotonin instead of just having it bounce back and forth, which is what most antidepressant drugs do. People don't realize that when you take an antidepressant, you're just having the serotonin jump back and forth more. You're not actually producing more more. So it eventually can kind of wear your system down, and you need to take more and more of it. So we're going to put the dates in first without the pits, Derek. Derek loves these, and he tried to make them himself, and he left the pits in them. And
Just one time.
and then he ate them.
That's all it takes.
Then he ate them anyway, and he's never going to not hear about that. Okay, and then we'll add a cup. So I've got about 12 dates in there, and once again, with dates, if they're a little bit hard, you might want to soak them for a while. It'll give you more liquid, and I might have soaked them this time just because it would have given us a little bit more liquid. Okay. And then we're going to put a cup of peanut butter, which this is, so you can put the whole thing in there. And you can use any kind of butter that you want, really. And if you didn't want to use the whole muesli recipe, you could just use chia seeds. Chia seeds are phenomenal. They're really packed with a lot of protein, and they've got omega-3s and omega-6s in them. So you're really feeding your brain at the same time, which is really important as you start to get to be a certain age. You want to keep your brain functioning at a high level.
I'm gonna need a regular spoon for this.
Okay. All right.
Break this spatula.
Okay, I'll get you a regular spoon. And then we're going to add a little bit of cinnamon. Just a little bit, because I like a little bit of cinnamon in these. Do you like a little bit of cinnamon?
Synonym?
Synonym? A synonym.
I love synonym.
As opposed to an antonym, a synonym. Let me get a spoon. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and see?
Yeah.
It's hard.
So I'm going to try something new this time. I'm going to try, because a lot of times this doesn't get broken down enough. Do I need you to do that?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is with me and food processors. This is my new food processor. I'm still having problems with it. Here we go.
Wow! You like bounce off the counter.
Okay, and then I'm going to add the powder that we use. And I'm adding, each serving is about 1/3 of a cup, 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup. So if you're using something different, that's how you're going to measure it.
You're in one?
Oh, just one. Actually, just one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I was making a double dose. And I'm going to add a little bit of some chocolate almond milk.
Just to see what happens.
Yeah, it's about 1/4 of a cup. And then I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla.
All right.
Splash of vanilla.
That's a lot of vanilla.
That's a splash.
And then cacao nibs?
And then some cacao nibs.
And no maple syrup?
We could add a little bit.
No,
of
we don't
maple
need to.
syrup.
I never think we do. I always think that they're sweet enough with the dates and the powder.
Yeah.
How much?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Just you can just guesstimate.
Guesstimating is good.
Okay, here we go.
Cool. So you might have to use a spatula to get some of the stuff out at the bottom. Now, when I first started making these, I didn't use dates, and I made them by hand. And I would just mix them because I didn't have a food processor then. But yeah, this looks pretty good, actually. Yeah, how's it taste?
Definitely sweet enough. Definitely did not need the maple syrup.
Okay, good. All right. So here's how it comes out looking, and it's kind of mealy, but what we're going to do is we're going to put them into a little ball. I like to use a spoon for this because it gets all over your fingers.
And so you get a uniform size also.
Right, and you probably want to take your rings off if you wear rings.
Yeah.
And you want to get them into a little ball. Now, if you're feeding a big group of people, you're going to want to make them a little bit smaller like this. If you're feeding Derek, you're going to want to make them a little bit bigger like this. Now, there's another little thing that you can do as well. You can roll them in some coconut, like so. Now, some people like these frozen, so I froze some last night, and some people like them just like this. But this is an easy thing to get your kids involved in because they can roll them out, they can even make them themselves. And if you want to get them really fancy, you can pull out the secret ingredient. Now, I'm not making any claims about this being good for you, although my husband insists that dark chocolate is
I have heard that.
really, really good for you. But we're going to melt some dark chocolate, and then we're going to roll
dip them in.
They're going to dip them in the ones that don't have the coconut on them.
Dip them in
so
chocolate.
Hold on. Now I used
obviously chocolate without dairy in it. So even sometimes when you see dark chocolate in the store, even though it says dark chocolate, they can still have dairy in it. So you always want to check the ingredients to make sure there's no milk added. That's super, super important if you want to be
a vegan.
Yes, you want to be dairy free.
Okay, so This is a way to melt chocolate that's pretty efficient. This is a double boiler, and it's got one pan that's got the water in it, and it's got one pan that you put the chocolate in, and then it melts it without burning it, and it keeps it hot. If you don't have a double boiler and you've got a small pan like this, you can also submerge that in something that's just another way to do it. But don't try to melt chocolate right on the stove because you'll burn the crap out of it. So we're going to take one of these, and we're just going to roll the top of it, get a little bit of chocolate. And then when those get hard, when we put them in the freezer, they're just going to be a little bit extra delicious. So fancy. And
so it's like chocolate dipped strawberries, but with more plants.
I did this one year for a Friendsgiving thing, and they were just a big hit, and I didn't even tell anybody that they were getting all of this good stuff in them. So when you make them with muesli, not only are you getting the good stuff from the plant powder, but you're also getting everything that's in the muesli. So these are a treat that you can really feel great about your kids having. Totally. I can see when Jameson gets older, these are going to be a big hit for him. So we hope you really like this recipe. We hope you try it. Make these, freeze them, have them as snacks for your kids. There's so many other things that you can do with these recipes. So look us up on YouTube or go to our Facebook page, Jake and Joy, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.